Hey friends, welcome back to Grand Adventure. I'm your host Mark Guido, and in this episode we're going to explore the Tucson area, including Saguaro National Park. So stay tuned. So for our visit to Tucson, we're staying in an RV park in Tucson Estates. It's called Desert Trails. This is a really unique RV park. It actually used to be a water park. So instead of being kind of laid out cookie cutter, all the rows kind of even next to each other, things kind of wind around with a lot of character. Speaking of characters, look who I bumped into. This is hilarious. I've got TR Bolin.
Hey everybody, how's it going?
You might have met TR in some of our premieres in the chat room, but TR runs a YouTube channel for RV travelers all its own. TR, why don't you tell Grand Adventures about TR Bolin?
Man, I'd love to. Thanks, Mark. Yeah, I've got a YouTube channel, and I've been doing it for nigh on 3 years. I'm not quite as focused as Mark. I kind of bounce around a little bit. Some of it has RV how-to. I live in a 15-year-old RV, so I spend a lot of time working on it, getting it fixed and repaired. And then I winter in Tucson, and I travel to west through the summer. And I got up the other morning, and look who's parked next to me. It's Mark.
Small world.
Isn't it, though?
It is. Hey, TR, you said you live in a 15-year-old RV. Tell us about your rig.
It's a 2004 Newmar Dutch Star.
It's beautiful.
It's a 40-foot Class A. 2 slides, it's pretty much your typical 40-foot Class A. But I do want to admit that I'm quite envious of Mark and his rig, because he gets to go to a lot of places that I can't even imagine going in this big old thing that I drive.
TR does do quite a bit of boondocking in this thing. You'd be surprised.
I do, and I have my route. I know where I can go. I've got my spaces that I can get. And, I love being out on the road. I'm a full-timer. And so I've been doing this full-time for just about 8 years now.
Well, there are some absolutely wonderful hiking and mountain biking trails that head up into Tucson Mountain Park right here from the RV park.
That's one of the reasons why I like staying here when I pass through this particular area.
Understood. You want to go take a walk out there?
Let's go.
All right, let's head take a walk. We're basically out here with TR, which is really cool. We got our own private naturalist out here to explain to me all the stuff I'm seeing, because I don't know what I'm seeing. I don't understand. I don't know one plant from the next out here, but I'm getting quite the education from TR.
So an interesting fact about these saguaro cactuses is they depend on what they're called nurse plants. And when these saguaros are very small, they're very susceptible to drought. And so they'll get established in these plants like this, which help them stay out of the heat, the wind. It reduces the amount of evaporation that comes off the plant and helps them get established out here in this very dry Sonoran Desert.
So what happens eventually? Does it crowd out the creosote?
Yes, eventually it will crowd out the creosote. And we may see an example of that here in just a moment. But if you look over here, here's a great example of another one that's in here with these palo verdes, and then tucked in there is a big, huge barrel cactus that's demonstrating the same behavior. They get established under the canopy of these trees, which shades them out and provides them with a much better moisture profile and helps them get established. Palo verde is a really interesting plant. If you notice the bark is green, that's because there's chlorophyll in the bark, and these plants can photosynthesize with no leaves on it. You notice on that tree there is no leaves yet, but it is photosynthesizing right now. That's an adaptation to very arid climates like we find here in the Sonoran Desert. If you don't have leaves, you're not losing water to the atmosphere. The bark has a waxy coating on it, which reduces the amount of water, moisture, that will transpire, will move through that bark as they're trying to get CO2 out of the air.
Only about 10 miles south of downtown Tucson, and just southeast of our RV park sits the Mission San Xavier del Bac, an historic Spanish Catholic mission founded in 1692 along the banks of the Santa Cruz River. The original church was built to the north of the present Franciscan church. This northern church, or churches, served the mission until it was razed during an Apache raid in 1770. The mission that survives today was built between 1783 and 1797, which makes it the oldest European structure in Arizona. With a summit elevation of 9,159 feet, Mount Lemmon is the highest point in the Santa Catalina Mountains that line the northern edge of Tucson. The Mount Lemmon Highway runs up the Santa Catalina Mountains from the east side of Tucson up to the top of Mount Lemmon. The beautiful curving road is a favorite drive for tourists, for locals escaping summer's heat, and cyclists, and has been recently designated as the Sky Island Parkway, part of the U.S. National Scenic Byway System. Yes, those are snowflakes in the air. In fact, the summit appears to be obscured by a snow squall. Well, would you look at this? In the span of only a few miles, we've gone from saguaro to snowfall. Just below the summit, Mount Lemmon Ski Valley is the southernmost ski area in the United States. The ski valley receives approximately 180 inches of snowfall annually. Just down the road from the ski area, the small town of Summerhaven is a summer residence for many, but there are some year-round residents as well. There are many small cabins, most of which were rebuilt after the Aspen Fire of July 2003. Pinal Airpark is a county-owned public-use airport north of Tucson, but its primary purpose is to serve as a boneyard for civilian commercial aircraft, where the area's dry desert climate mitigates corrosion of the airplanes. It is the largest commercial aircraft storage and heavy maintenance facility in the world. Nearly 10 years ago, Airport Economic Development Director Jim Petty had opened the facility to the public, giving free tours of the airport and the airplanes stored there. Tucson Mountain County Park abuts both the Desert Trails RV Park, where we're staying, and Saguaro National Park. It includes the beautiful Gilbert Ray Campground, with 130 RV sites with 30 amp electrical hookups available for $20 per night, as well as 5 sites designated for tenors only. It has centrally located water, picnic tables, modern restrooms, and an RV dump station. Shower facilities, however, are not available. Reservations are available online, but the campground's H-Loop remains first come, first served for last-minute arrivals. Tucson Mountain County Park also includes Gates Pass, which links Tucson Estates with the city of Tucson. It's a beautiful drive and an opportunity to check out some of the native flora. It does, however, come with a 40-foot length limit and 12,000-pound gross vehicle weight limit. Finally, let's head into Saguaro National Park. The park is divided into east and west sectors on either side of Tucson. Both preserve Sonoran Desert landscapes, fauna, and flora, including the giant saguaro cactus. We'll explore Saguaro National Park West, also referred to as the Tucson Mountain District, that covers about 25,000 acres. The Tucson Mountain District has 12 miles of paved roads and 8.5 miles of unpaved roads, including the 5-mile Bajada Loop Drive that we're traveling here.
So I hope you enjoyed that little trip. We are practicing social distance despite the fact that we shook hands. That is so hard to get over.
It really is.
You know? And of course, we are being careful, you know.
We are.
Mark's been here a couple days, but you know, I mean, we are maintaining appropriate social distance despite the fact that you saw us shake hands at the beginning.
In order to get us both in the shot, we end up having to sit here for a moment, but that's okay.
Bit.
I'll go back and disinfect afterwards.
Exactly. I'm going to go gargle with isopropyl alcohol and all that kind of stuff.
Well, TR, thanks for showing us around the Tucson area. We've really enjoyed our visit here to Tucson and our visit with TR.
Thanks, Mark. You know, I know you are not big on staying in RV parks.
I'm not.
Except long enough to get a good hot shower, dump the tanks, get some fresh water.
Isn't that the truth?
And I totally agree with you there 100%.
Isn't that the truth? Well, we're going to head on up to Lost Dutchman State Park in Apache Junction, east of Phoenix. So if you're not yet a Grand Adventurer, now's the time. Smash that little red subscribe button, you know, right down there in the corner, and ring that notification bell. That way you can come along on each and every one of our Grand Adventures. Now, we would be honored if you shared Grand Adventure with your friends, family, and on social media. And we'd love to hear from you after each episode down in the comments section below this video. Perhaps most importantly, if you like this video, please give us a big thumbs up down below. And until next week, please remember, life
is nothing. Let's do that
together. No, ready? 3, 2, 1. Life is nothing but a great adventure. We'll see you then.